While I have been making multiple videos about people freaking out on planes seeing things that are not human, we should also be concerned about what's happening to airline pilots as well. You are now within minutes of horror, and your only chances of survival is hitting that like button. With that being said, let's continue on with the video. Airline pilots were not having a good week last week. Matter of fact, they have not been having a good past couple of years. On the 17th of August, we had a plane crash into an expressway in Malaysia, ending the lives of all 6 people on board and 4 people on the ground. It is now believed that pilot was suffering from a medical condition. Then we had another pilot pass away from a fatal heart attack inside a bathroom during a flight to Chile. And then on top of everything else, we have a pilot accused of destroying a parking barrier at the Denver airport with an axe. Now we already know how I feel about the very bizarre Denver airport and its very odd Illuminati feeling with its very strange decor. Let's also not forget that very scary email I received by somebody who is called the Denver Airport Baphomet. I saw an email from somebody named the Denver Airport or Denver Airport, and I found this to be very odd, and I was scared to open it because it could be a virus. Nobody knows this email. This is my YouTube email. You can see here that I get all my YouTube replies and comments here. This is strictly a business email for YouTube, and none of my friends know this email, and I don't think my wife knows it. I do believe I told her the email, but I'm not sure if she remembers it. Apparently, pilot Kenneth Henderson Jones, 63, is accused of repeatedly striking the metal parking arm with a long-handled axe on August 2nd. Wait, so why are we hearing about this now? Then I stand corrected. They were not having a long week, but they were having a terrible month, knocking it off its base and then fleeing on foot when a lot attendant confronted him. The employee told investigators he was able to grab the weapon from Jones during a scuffle near a security fence. The pilot then ran into a nearby field, where he was taken into custody by Denver police. Apparently, Jones told a deputy that about 6 vehicles were behind each of the parking lot's 3 exit gates, so he retrieved the axe from his parked car to help the drivers leave. He told investigators that he was just at his breaking point, that everybody should feel empathetic towards him. And you know what? I strongly agree. This man has lived out my fantasy. Every time I'm at one of these extra long red lights where I'm from, I just want to get out of my car and swing on them like Tarzan. My only question is why did he have this axe in the trunk of his car in the first place? Was this something that was building up over time? To be honest, I don't think there's really anything odd about this story. We just have a man here who is fed up and he finally lashed out. But what I do find odd is the increase in pilots having a lot of medical conditions lately, mostly heart attacks. On April 24th, 2023, we had a pilot who passed out. 2 TSA officers came to his aid when they realized he was suffering a cardiac arrest. With quick thinking and administering CPR, they were able to save the pilot's life. Now get this, last week, in a span of 2 days, India witnessed the deaths of 2 pilots. An Indigo captain lost consciousness at a Nagpur boarding gate on Thursday, while a day prior, a Qatar Airways pilot experienced a heart attack while on board a flight. The pilot who lost consciousness passed away as he was being rushed to the hospital. These incidents come days after a pilot collapsed in the bathroom of a commercial flight from Miami to Chile, which had 271 passengers on board. An emergency landing was carried out in Panama on Sunday night, and Captain Ivan Andor was declared dead by medical experts at the airport. Now, before all this, in March 2023, a British Airways pilot collapsed and died at the crew hotel shortly before he was due to captain a flight. The experienced pilot was due to fly an Airbus A321 from Cairo in Egypt when he suffered from a heart attack. The British Airways veteran was able to leave his room and seek support in the foyer of the hotel despite him experiencing cardiac arrest. In March of 2023, a Southwest pilot suffered a medical emergency, which some are believing was a heart condition on flight. An off-duty pilot had to help land the plane. Now you may be saying, Minutes of Horror, I don't believe in conspiracies, I believe in coincidences. These are all older gentlemen, they have a stressful job, heart attacks do happen. In February 2023, a Fargo woman who is also a pilot, young and healthy, suffered a heart attack. Tammy Fry, only 48, an active runner and yoga instructor, was suffering from chest pains. She goes to the emergency room, come to find out, doctors tell her she is having a full-blown heart attack, but thankfully, due to quick thinking, she was able to survive. This healthy young pilot is a non-smoker and has no history of heart disease. Now, according to the Defense Medical Database, 2016 was its highest year when it came to pilots suffering from disease and injuries. 265 incidents, and then there was a slow decline. 2017 there was 252, 2018 there was 164, and then there was a small uptick in 2019 where there was 223 reported cases. Oddly enough, starting in 2020 and onward, this amount would increase by over tenfold. In 2020, there was 2,194 reported incidents of disease and injuries when it came to pilots. In 2021, there was 2,861, and in 2022, there was 4,059 cases reported. So what is the main difference between 2019 and the 2020s? Now, while it is true that the C-19 disease is the cause behind a lot of these reported cases, especially in 2020, as people were getting jabbed up, we started to see a sharp increase from 2020 to 2022, almost double the cases in 2022. In 2022 alone, there were 4,059 cases of pilots reporting disease or injury. Now, it is a requirement for all pilots to be jabbed with a magic potion. From 2022 to 2023, we have been seeing a very sharp rise of pilots either dropping unconscious or dropping dead altogether from a heart attack. Now, here's where the math does not add up. If we are seeing a strong increase between 2019 and 2020 of cases reported due to 19 itself, then we should start seeing a decrease as people start to get jabbed up and protected from 19, but we are not seeing that. 2022 just exploded in the number of cases. So now that we know there's a strong increase in health-related cases when it comes to pilots, mainly related to the heart, what does the FAA do? The Federal Aviation Administration? Do they A, tighten the restrictions of pilots getting health-related checkups because they are the ones ultimately responsible for everybody's life on board? Or B, do they loosen these restrictions? Now, if you were to say B, you would be a crazy person. But hey, we are living in a crazy world and we are living in crazy times. They actually do loosen these restrictions. And only when it came to the heart, very suspicious, the FAA loosened its EKG range for pilots while offering no explanation as to why to the public. So if a pilot suffers with something like myocarditis, it's okay because it's only inflammation. Get up there and fly those over 300 people on your plane. Now, as I said before in many of my other videos, I'm not a political person. I'm not a person that leans to the left. I'm not a person that leans to the right. These are still two different wings of the same bird. This jab has become so politicized that if you're for it, you're a crazy liberal. If you're against it, you're a crazy Republican. Nobody can meet in the middle and say, hey, there is a correlation here between these pilots required to get this magic potion and between the number of reported cases that are on the rise, especially when it comes to heart-related cases. If you say that, you're canceled. There is no such thing as an independent thought in this world. Well, something has to be causing these heart attacks. We have two pilots from India back to back dropping dead from heart attacks. And then we have this recent pilot a day later dropping dead from a heart attack in a bathroom. But none of this matters anyway. We're just going to sweep these cases under the rug. Why? Because we have PiBot, the AI pilot, on the way to save the day. But I do want to hear from you. Please comment below. What do you think is causing this strange increase in health-related cases when it comes to pilots? Thank you so much for watching. If you do like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.